Hey guys, thanks for checking out this video. This is DM Tips for Phandelver and Below Chapter 2, Trouble in Phandalin. There'll be spoilers here, so if you're a player, please play it first and then come back and let us know how it went after you played. This part of the adventure is for second level characters. The project lead is Amanda Hamon. If you're playing this as part of a game day and you need to pace it for 4 hours, I'd recommend getting through character intros, Meet Me in Phandalin, and Welcome to Phandalin in the first hour. Doing the encounters in Phandalin, the town description, and having the encounter with the Redbrand Ruffians by the end of the second hour. By the start of the second hour, third hour, you need to be in the hideout, and then by the start of the last hour, you want to have started the battle with Glasstaff, and then get to the conclusion. If you're playing in a more relaxed setting, this naturally is going to run you probably 6 to 8 hours, so 2 good sessions for Phandelver. You can, of course, remove encounters to make it go faster, and there's a lot of ideas for adding encounters provided by Heroic Maps and their supplement to make it go the full 2 sessions. So let's look at that map of this whole thing. I'm going to do zoom to fit and roll 20 here, and we'll see my whole layout. So these maps, I've used mostly maps from Heroic Maps. So they have a Patreon, and I'd highly recommend following their Patreon. They have these maps here on Dungeon Masters Guild, and the Chapter 2 Phandalin is $7.49 right now on sale, $9.99 normally. They have these beautiful maps, and in addition they have a supplement that gives a lot of added life to the village and a lot of ideas for extra stuff to put into the adventure. Then finally, they have VTT tokens, kind of a top-down token format from Devon Knight, and these look really good. For the images, so if we look back at my layout here, I got some images scattered around the map. I have the party starting out here on the road from the Tribord Trail, coming into Phandalin. This beautiful map here, or this beautiful image by James RPG Art. You can see it's a GIF, so it's actually moving. The trees are moving, the smoke's moving. Beautiful. James has a Patreon as well, and you can also find his art on the links that I provided. Phandalin there, and SildarHallwinter there. Beautiful maps. Then, I also, if you look on this map, when you're getting the maps here from Heroic Maps, they provide both a version that's top-down with all the roofs on and one with the roofs off. And I just do this where I put this on a different layer, and I kind of crop it to be just one part of the map. So if I come to the Keeper layer here, the party would not see this. In fact, all they would see is the roof version of Bartheons Provisions as they came up to it. So I would just come here to the GM layer and change this to the map layer when the party enters, and they can see the inside there of Bartheons Provisions. Now you'll notice I also have this pretty cool little card here that has who they'll run into in Bartheons Provisions usually, and what things cost for Bartheons Provisions. That I got from In Chaotic Thoughts. In Chaotic or something like that. Anyway, I put the link below. And beautiful little cards from multiple locations in Phandelver, and really kind of bring the place to life. Now, it should be noted these are the Lost Mine of Phandelver version, and they changed it up a little bit in Phandelver and Below. But if you want to use the Lost Mine of Phandelver version, that's free. You can grab it, use these cards. The only thing I think that is important to watch out for is there's an NPC coming later that ties in with the Stonehill Inn, and I think they replaced Elsa from being the Scotsby barmaid to being a barkeep at a dwarven barkeep. I just added a dwarven barkeep because there was no barkeep here, so I added that. Hopefully that'll tie in okay. This cool image I saved for the very end of the adventure as kind of a celebration for the party's exploits, and usually I have these on the GM layer so the party doesn't see them until they get to them. Same thing for the cards. If I take the card here, just move it to the GM layer. It's grayed out like that. Finally, last but not least, we have the song or the music. And I'm getting that from Tabletop Audio, and a lot of these are built right into Roll20, so you get these for free. And I put the ones I recommend for this adventure in the description below. And you're listening right now to, if I come to my adventure, Country Village. There's also Tavern music. Cave of Time is really good for Below the Manor. Turn that on and turn it up a little bit. Alchemist Lab is good for when the party comes to Glasstaff's alchemical lab that he's got inside the manor. So that's all kind of the resources I used when I ran the adventure. The tokens, I'll put links to these tokens that I used right here. They come with the adventure, and I made tokens out of the art. I'll put that in the description below. So now, what's going to happen in Phandalin? There is a lot of information the party can pick up here. The main plot is basically the party's going to come into the town. They're going to find out there's some ruffians that the people of the town are having to deal with. They're going to find out these ruffians are at the Sleeping Giant Tavern. They may find out that there is a secret entrance to Tressidar Manor a cave below Trestar Manor from the Alderleafs, basically the son of the Alderleafs, which is down here in the south of the town. And so eventually they're either going to confront the Redbrands and go into the Trestar Manor from the top, or they're going to try and sneak in from the bottom. Let's go through the different buildings in the town so we can see kind of the information the party should get as they go through the town. So again, I have these cards that are normally hidden. I have little macro buttons I've set up. We have the first place the party's likely going to come is going to be Bartheons Provisions. Okay, so the party will know about the setting, the Sword Coast setting. They'll know about the hook, which gets them here, which is being that they're coming and bringing supplies for Gundren Rockseeker. They know that Gundren was captured with Sildar, and Sildar will share them some information, but Sildar doesn't know exactly where Gundren was taken to. He knows he was taken to a place called Cragmaw Castle, but he doesn't know where that's at, and he hopes that the party might be able to find out here in Phandalin where that might be out. As the party arrives, they will see Phandalin, and here's where you can use this beautiful picture here of Phandalin. And then Sildar will say, hey, I'm going to go check out the Stonehill Inn. I hear it's very quaint, and I'm going to get a room for the night. Now the party, if they talk to anyone in the village, I would make sure that they first are brought up to speed a little bit on the Ruffians and what's going on there. They'll probably first pass Bartheons Provisions, and they might stop in there to drop off supplies, but they really need to have the wagon to take the rest of the stuff to the Iron Shield Coaster, so they might not do this first. But if they do, Barthen will talk to them. If they tell Barthen of Gundren's disappearance, Barthen doesn't know where he might be, but he knows his brothers are out there in the wilderness somewhere too. Then, this is taken from Heroic Maps supplement, Barthen could give them a tankard to take back to Darren, because there's really not a good way for the party to get over here to the orchard. Well, if they do take that tankard to Darren, then the party can get to the orchard, and they can talk to Darren. Darren being a retired adventurer, and Darren will also bring them up to speed about the Redbrands. He also tells them about their leader called Glasstaff, and that they hang around the Sleeping Giant Tap House, but their safe house lies under the ruins of Trestar Manor, so here already the party knows where to go. Darren will also tell them about an adventure site outside of town called the Old Owl Well. That's something in Chapter 3 the party might go to. So let's say they continue on down to the Stonehill Inn. Should they stop in there to get a drink? Then they will see there's quite a few people here probably because they're arriving in the afternoon. And let's see here. So there's the card for the Stonehill Inn. They can talk to each of these people here, and they should find out a couple of interesting things. They'll find out the Redbrands might have murdered someone. They can find that out from Trilena. From Pip, they might find out that there's a secret tunnel that was found near Trestar Manor, and that should definitely interest the party, especially if they're trying to get into Trestar Manor. So all of that information I have here. So Toblin can talk to them, Narth, Elsa, Lennar, Trilena, Pip, and Frida can all talk to them about different things. Then, if they continue on, they'll come to the shrine. The shrine here is some rocks set up dedicated to Timora. Now here, Heroic Maps had some ideas for some extra run-ins with the Redbrands. So here the Redbrands at the shrine, they are taking a leak on the shrine, disrespecting the place, and they'll just flip the party off. The party tries to confront them. So it's the first run-in with the Redbrands in person that the party can have. If this happens, then from the Shrine of Luck, the elf there, Garael, may see what happened and come and give the party a reward in the form of some, tokens of Timora. Also, Garael has a goal to go find a spell book that the Banshee, Agatha, might know about. Now, that would be another quest in Chapter 3 that the party could go after. And if they succeed on this quest, they could become members of the Harpers, or Garael will definitely offer that. Now, I normally have these on the hidden layer, and I didn't say this, but also on Darren's area, they could become members of the Order of the Gauntlet. Then they continue on. They might stop in at the town hall, and the town hall's got some postings regarding marauders that are down east on the Triboard Trail. So another thing in Chapter 3, there's lots of stuff the party can pick up that's, like future type adventure stuff. And they could also run into Harbin, and Harbin tries to downplay the Redbrands, says, oh, it's no big deal, they're just, adolescents. If they come back here on future days, Sildar will come here after having been at the Stonehill Inn for a while, and Sildar is looking for Iarno Albrecht, who is Glasstaff. When the party finds Iarno and brings him to justice, then they'll be offered a reward by Sildar. And furthermore, Sildar wants the party to find all these marauders at Cragmaw Castle, find out where the castle is and put an end to them, and he has a big reward, 500 gold for that. Then we come down here to the Lion Shield Coaster. This is where the party might have some supplies they picked up in Chapter 1 to sell here or return to Lion Shield Coaster. For a reward, we'll meet Linene. And Linene, if they do bring this stuff back, will also offer to sell them arms and armor out of the back room. And then they might go past the Woodworkers House, which they might have found out there had been a murder there, so they might go and investigate. And in Heroic Maps Supplement, they give lots of good descriptions of each of the residences here that the party might enter. And the Woodworkers House, a donkey is wandering the yard, bringing a distressed, lonely welcome. The house and workshops are deserted and feel abandoned. A ladder on the workbench is labeled for Town Master Webster, or Wester. More examples of how the party can go different directions. And then finally, the Miners Exchange. This is where they could run into Halia. Halia, at the Miners Exchange, will offer to get information from them. If they've already taken Redbrand on and they already have Glasstaff in custody, she's going to offer to buy secrets off of them. And they may or may not do that, but if they do, they have a chance to join the Centaur. Finally, they can find out about the Alderleafs. The Alderleafs is a family all the way over here on the edge of the town, southeast edge of town. And the little boy knows something. So Quelline, who is the matriarch, is a wise female halfling of 40, and she's got a precocious son named Carp. Carp has found a tunnel in the woods. He also saw some scary bandits as he was coming in and out of that tunnel. He doesn't have a good description of them, other than that they were big and scary, and these were likely bugbears that he saw. Then finally, Quelline knows not about Cragmaw Castle, but she knows a person who might know about Cragmaw Castle, which leads the party to the ruins of Thundertree. All right, then Carp. So now, at this point, the party's explored the town. They know the Redbrands are a problem. They could either go from here straight to Trestar Manor, and if they do that, I would take the Redbrands from the Sleeping Giant Inn, have them intercept the party, kind of be waiting on the other side of this wall here as Carp is leading them towards the secret entrance, if you have time for that encounter. If you don't, you can just get right into the ruins. If the party returns after talking to Carp, there's another opportunity for an encounter with the Redbrands. And this will just be Carp running and asking for help, and the Redbrands saying, hey, we just want to talk to him. And then finally, a third opportunity for running to the Redbrands is if the party's around at night at all, they could hear a commotion behind a building, and that would be the Redbrands beating up on Ander, who's one of the helpers at Bartheons Provisions. So a lot of different options there. Hopefully the party will get into the ruins and start exploring the ruins. Now, before they go in, it's good to have an idea where the secret tunnel enters and gets into the ruins. So I drew this in the GM layer, so I had an idea where that secret tunnel might be. And I did that by where these stairs are here in the ruins and how extensive the underground caves are. And here is the map of the underground caves. Oh, here's a picture of the manor, and it's an animated GIF, so it's pretty cool. Okay, so the underground. Pretty straightforward. Basically a lot of different bandits. A Nothic, so that can be a pretty spooky encounter. The party can rescue the woodworker's wife who'd been kidnapped and the woodworker's 2 children. They can find the body of the woodworker that the Nothic had been eating. The woman will tell them about Thundertree and how she's got a family heirloom there. And eventually all of this, they will explore and likely come across Glasstaff finally at the end. So they have a nice picture here of Glasstaff. That wasn't the original adventure, but they now have it. I have a token here. I'll put the links to that below. Glasstaff has some nice powers now to teleport, so he's going to have a better chance of getting away. His attacks are stronger. He has a multi-attack shocking burst. I made the mistake of readying a multi-attack. You can only ready one attack of a multi-attack, not multiples like I did. So watch out for that. He's also got Charm Person, Magic Missile, and a Hold Person each once per day. And Magic Missile, that would come in handy if there's a familiar that's chasing him and he wants to blow out of the sky and get away easier. He's going to flee as soon as it looks bad for him, and he's got a familiar, a Quasit, who's invisible, and this is going to try and run interference to protect Glasstaff as Glasstaff is trying to flee. But eventually, if the party explores in the area of Glasstaff's library, they can find an old tome written by some dwarves that talks a little bit about the lost mine of Phandalin. And then in Glasstaff's study, if he has some papers there, the party can explore that and find a letter signed with the symbol of a spider. So hopefully they'll think, oh, that's the spider. So then they'll take out Glasstaff, and that is the end of the adventure. So Glasstaff I had run, and he ran through these tunnels. He got into the forest. He ran across the clearing. He jumped over the rock wall, and he stood there and took aim at the tree line for the first party member to come out. First party member comes out. Glasstaff shoots and misses. The party member shoots Glasstaff, rolls a crit, blows Glasstaff's head clean off, and that was the end of the encounter. Pretty cool ending for the adventure. The party returns to the village. They are rewarded with a large banquet in their honor. And of course, you can recap all the things they found. So they should know about Agatha, They should know about Old Owl Well. They should know about Wyvern Tor, all things to the east of Phandalin. Zoom in here. All things to the east. They should know that in Thunder Tree, there is a reward waiting for them. There is a druid who might know where Cragmaw Castle is. Likely your party will go to Thunder Tree, so they want to do Thunder Tree, then Cragmaw Castle, then all the stuff to the east. That'd probably be 3 sessions for the next chapter. Anyway, that's the end of chapter 2. A fun sandbox village that the party can really do lots of things in lots of different ways. I hope you have a good time playing it. Let me know how it went. Leave a comment below and let me know how your party did. If you have any questions, let me know. And good luck running this one. Thanks for watching.